And we are live.
Are we live?
We're live. Let's roll.
I can't see the base bars.
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, there we go.
Race car spelled backwards is still race car. This is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me is Jamie, and this is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Coming off a hot weekend at Michigan. Jamie, did you watch the race?
Yeah.
Man, if you didn't watch the race, that would really make for a crappy episode, you know?
Yeah, I thought the race was crappy anyway.
You really didn't enjoy that race?
No, I thought it sucked.
Did you watch the Indy race?
Yes,
Did you think that sucked too?
I thought it sucked.
So the Indy cars were back on the streets of Nashville this weekend for what Indy fans and the media were calling an overly aggressive race. From lap 20 on, you saw the big names of the sport wrecking right and left. You even had your boy, how you say it?
Elio Castroneves.
Yeah, you had Helio Castroneves spin out on his own. You had Jimmy Johnson, who was having a pretty decent run, end up spinning out on his own and tearing his car up. Pretty much all the big names.
It's like they forgot to shift. It looked like
I thought it was the best Indy race
our
I've ever.
next-gen car
It
on
was the
the
best Indy race I've ever watched.
first week. Is
In
it
my
the only
opinion.
one you ever watched?
No, but it's the best one I've ever watched. I mean, it had action. It was aggressive racing. They were bumping and banging. It's why I like NASCAR. They race.
But you know, their cars are so weak, man. Like a freaking mosquito hits something and pieces fall off.
Yeah, they're not. Well, they're super glued on. Remember, we learned, or that was Formula One car that was super glued together.
You have a skid pad over your head.
That was glued on, not screwed on.
Should have been screwed on, not
Right.
glued on.
Usually, I don't enjoy IndyCar racing, but I thought it was a great race this weekend. I even put down I thought it was the best race of the weekend when I typed this, at least. But I don't know that I believe.
Have you
that.
noticed the profile of the car with their little halo and windshield? Looks like Robin Hood's hat.
Okay, I can see that.
I don't like it.
You
I
know,
like the halo in F1 better.
is it really that big of a difference?
Well,
To me, the car. So here's the thing: I've never looked at the two cars side by side, obviously, because in my opinion, they look identical.
yeah, they look pretty similar.
You could park two cars with no paint and no numbers on them, just two solid white cars, a F1 car and an Indy car next to each
But
other.
they got the windshield where the windscreen, whereas they don't have it on the halo in F1.
They have a windshield in front of them in F1, don't they?
No.
It's
They got a bar in the middle of the halo.
yeah, the Indy car doesn't have that.
Oh no, they got the windshield, windscreen.
Oh, I thought they were the exact same car, like legit.
Well, they look very similar. I think they cheat off of each other's designs.
They probably have been for years.
But you know, if a cow farts in the woods in France, all the F1 cars crash.
If a cow farts in the woods in France, they'll shut.
Does
the whole
anyone
country
hear
down.
it? If a
Cow farting is what's killing our environment. You realize that, right?
yes, and they did nothing with the new bill in Congress about cow farts.
They didn't have nothing in there for cow farts.
No, well,
My
they should have done
My biggest concern in the world right now is cow farts.
mine too.
It's destroying. I mean, we all need to go. We need to eat more beef. Apparently,
I think we need to put hoses on them, bottle that methane, and sell it.
sell cow farts.
Methane, which is cow farts.
We'll just sell it.
But they didn't address that problem with Congress. I'm very dissatisfied with both parties in Congress for not addressing the methane issue,
the cow problem.
the cow farts.
I like to call it the cow farts. Methane sounds scientific. Cow farts sounds American. That sounds like something we'd write a bill around in America. Cow farts.
And you think, you know, it's not really a human problem. You never hear anyone address the human methane issue.
My wife
Maybe
would
we
argue
should
that
run
with you.
NASCAR on it and get a grant for a few $1 billion on cow methane.
Hey,
That's,
did it be the Chick-fil-A Cup
yeah.
series?
Eat more cows.
Eat more cows. Noah Gragson announced that he will be driving the number 42 car next year. That's not a shocker.
I'm a little disappointed, though.
You thought he was going to drive for Dale Jr., didn't you?
I thought he would, yeah. Well, I was hoping, but I was thinking a top-notch team would want him. Do you think maybe he's coming out a year too early?
No, I think Noah Gragson needs to go. I think there's no reason to wait anymore. I mean, the longer you wait to move up to the new car, the more of a disadvantage it puts you at. So,
but I see a lot of seats in 2024.
Yeah, there is a ton
great
of seats open in 2024.
That'll be open.
So maybe that's why Noah's going to drive the 42.
How long was his contract for? 1 year?
I think it's just a 1 year with a 1 year option. So if Hendricks wanted him or if Dale Jr. wanted him, they could get him out of the contract.
So here's my question. GMS Petty Motorsports, right?
Yeah.
Did they just give the king enough money so they can plaster his face everywhere?
That's all they did. They bought it. The king gets to run with it.
He gets to put his face on it?
Yeah, but I'm sure I don't know what their deal was, honestly. I don't know what percentage goes to GMS, what percentage goes to Petty. But I would imagine that.
I have a feeling they just pay Petty now royalty fees for his likeness.
Yes, that's what I think too. For the name,
yeah.
The Petty name, the Petty blue, his face. Because you see Richard doing more commercials now. And he's even tweeting more. Well, whoever they've hired to run his Twitter account's tweeting more.
Well, he should run for Congress as old as he is because they're all old and decrepit.
He's not old enough to be president yet.
What? How old is he?
I think you got to be like 132 to be president, don't you?
And what? Senile or red, right?
This whole Noah Gragson thing, now I kind of understand why Denny and Tyler Reddick made the announcement the way they did. I mean, I hate it that Pop got his feelings hurt because Denny and Tyler made their announcement when they did, but if Denny wouldn't have announced that Tyler Reddick was going to drive for 2311 9 minutes after they told Richard Childress, then the vinyl graphics guy or the janitor at RCR was going to make the announcement for him. So
hold it. Breaking news. Richard Petty is 85. He is old enough to be Speaker of the House or President.
All right. I've been voting for Rich. I've actually voted for Richard.
Slap his ass in Senate because they're all old and stupid.
Do the write-in vote. We can do that. We've actually done that write-in vote, or not we, but people have actually done that write-in vote for Richard Petty for president.
I think he's a Republican. We could dye his hair red like wackadoo.
Wackadoo.
And then they're all wackadoos. I mean, I think it's the same recipe that gave us the current president that we have with the last president. They're just, one's a communist and one was a Nazi. My opinion.
All right, Kurt Busch was out of the car again at Michigan from a concussion that he suffered at Pocono in practice. Ty Gibbs fills in again for Kurt. Dude.
This screws up Kyle. I think this really hurts Kyle. Kyle's screwed.
Yeah, I mean, how do you not put Ty Gibbs in a Cup car next year?
Oh, he's in a Cup car next year.
I mean, there's no way you don't do it. It would actually be a colossal mistake.
Colossal?
Did I not say that right?
I don't know. I'm the wrong guy to ask for pronunciations.
Well, why are you correcting me then?
Well, I was asking if you were sure.
No, I'm not sure, damn it. Do I look like a mathematician or something to you?
Could be.
You're correcting my speech. I mean, we're not even, 8 minutes into this podcast and you're correcting my speech. You see, this is what happens when you talk politics. You get all pissy like an old woman over here, and now you're going to be in a pissy mood because you've been talking politics. You don't like the left, you don't like the right.
I'm trying to figure out who the hell the working class is that everyone says they represent. We have jobs. But anyway, let's get to NASCAR.
All right. Where do you think Kyle goes next year?
I think Kyle. Oh, I did it. Didn't I do it? I just mispronounced some stuff, too. I think Kyle freaking Busch has to buy his own charter to race. And that's my opinion.
I think he goes to Stuart Haas.
I think he screwed himself over. Why? You think Custer sucks so bad that they're going to give him the car?
That would suck for Custer, though. You know, you suck that bad, but lose your ride. Even though Eric's already announced he's retiring this year, and then they beg him to stay after they kick Custer out.
I don't think Custer's that good.
I think he was great in the trucks. I think he was really good in the Xfinity car.
I just think that was premature.
I mean, obviously he's not as good as everybody thought he would be because he's had such a bad season. So,
I mean, Ty Gibbs, 3 races, he improves every race, top 10. Shoot. And I almost said the other word. But he got a penalty and raced back to the top 10. He and Denny were amazing yesterday. They really were.
No doubt. Ty Gibbs was amazing.
Toyota had the cars, dude. They had the cars. But for some reason, putting an apple in your bush get you first place.
So Ty Gibbs,
that came out wrong.
No, I didn't even go there with it. So Ty Gibbs wins the race Saturday, comes out Sunday and finishes 10th at Michigan after he got penalized with 35 laps to go. 35 laps to go, Ty Gibbs gets hit with a speeding penalty and comes back and finishes 10th. Like, we've said it over and over. How do you not put Ty Gibbs in a Cup car next year? I think Kyle Busch is out of the 18 and Ty Gibbs is in the 18. If Kurt doesn't get better, Kyle goes to the 23. I see no reason to put Ty in the 23. You just put Ty in the 18. Go ahead and get him comfortable with the crew.
I think so too.
Chief.
I think Bubba's in a hot seat too over the 23 though.
Nah, Bubba's fine.
You think?
Bubba's run really good the last 4 weeks, he's run really strong. I think Bubba's fine.
But there's no crying in NASCAR, and he keeps crying. And I have a feeling Michael Jordan doesn't like crying either. I've never saw him cry. And he was like in his prime when I was a teenager. I watched him play. I never saw him cry.
Yeah, but Bubba's been emotional since day one.
Is he pregnant?
Oh man, let's not start that rumor. I don't want to be the cause of the Bubba Wallace pregnancy rumor. All right, Jeff Gluck poll. After 3,355 votes, 91% of the fans say yes, 9% say no. On a scale of 1 to 10, I gave it a 7 and voted yes. What do you think, Jamie? What do you give it?
Man, I'm kind of wavering between a 5 and a 6. I thought the race sucked. But just like the last presidential election, I didn't vote on Jeff Gluck's poll again. Too many clicks.
It's not too many clicks. It's
too many clicks.
One click. One click.
I have to be signed on to my Google account to use the Google Docs. So technically, it might be 2.
All right, Mike Davis, calm down. It's just one click. You don't have to sign in. Can
you tell I'm pissed off about that stupid bill they passed in Congress?
I could tell.
I'm one angry Quaker, dude. One angry conservative Quaker.
He's lost his oats over here. All right, so you're a 5 to 6, right?
Let's call it a 5.5. Because I'm telling you, I was rooting for Harvick.
Now we've added decimals to our English.
I was on my calculator when you walked into the studio.
Doing math? Trying to come up with your rating?
No, I was trying to do some English. It didn't work.
You still came out with 5.5?
Yeah, 5.5.
So we're talking about racing sucking. How about Saturday's Xfinity race? I know Spotter Brett on DBC is always talking Xfinity race, the best race of the weekend. But this weekend, I think the Cup was the better race. Because the
Not by much.
Race, look, at least in the Cup race, they were passing.
Yeah, the 15 car was he parked? I don't know. Was he parked? I think he was parked.
He's a start and park. He started on lap 20 and parked on lap 1.
I don't think we allow that anymore.
21. Well, he did it. They weren't going to let him park, so he just wrecks the whole field.
I mean, we had a big one. That was exciting. What was that, lap 25? Did you write it down on the math? I don't know. That was English.
It's halfway through the notes. We can skip to it.
Oh, damn. I just bumped up in the notes.
This episode is going to be a shit show.
Because I'm going to pass my green bill by watering the grass. Sorry.
See?
Sorry.
All right. So the race was delayed.
I don't support Trump either.
The race was delayed by about an hour and a half yesterday due to rain. I'm glad we got the race in because I texted you at one point and said, no way we run this race today. I took a screenshot.
It allowed me to cut the grass and work on my race car.
But we got it in. I don't think NASCAR should, I don't think we should race at tracks without lights, period. Now, I know NASCAR owns Michigan, so they're going to do what they want to do, and so be it. But I just don't think we should race place. If we're going to have 3 o'clock start times, we should have lights at every track. Otherwise, we need to have 12 o'clock start times, which gives us 7 to 8 hours of daylight to run a race.
Who are they afraid of competing with in the sports market?
The NFL is the only one that does better than us.
You know, when you texted me and said the race is postponed, I go through the few networks that I get, 3 of them, and they got infomercials on.
Oh, on NBC? And USA or whatever?
Were they paying more than NASCAR makes them?
Well, I just watched pre-race. Pre-race was just extended.
Which I'm glad it wasn't on NBC. That's the one network I don't get.
I watched live. I watched the whole thing live until the very end. I had to run outside, so I paused it. But I caught back up through one commercial. I was caught back up with you. So Bubba Wallace qualifies on the pole. Green flag drops. Bubba Wallace takes off and is gone.
Why do you think he was crying? Because he had an awesome race.
I think Bubba's just hard on himself, man. He's an emotional guy, which I'm okay with that. I like when people show their emotions, whether it's anger,
and he had
tears, or joy, whatever it is. I'd like when they show their emotion, but Bubba's just extremely hard on himself. The last 4 weeks, he's finished in the top 4 at every race. I mean, the dude is running great right now.
I mean, he had the best. I love the McDonald's livery on whoever they're sponsoring. I mean, plus I love McDonald's. But the only place there's crying in McDonald's is the indoor playground. Is that where we send Bubba next week during the Saturday race?
To the playground?
He can get all his crying out so he can, win a race.
See, it doesn't bother me that he cried. I'm okay with it. I like the emotions. I'm good with that.
Dude, there is nothing more awesome than being live at a race, smelling that fuel, burn rubber, and hearing those pneumatic guns go, whack, whack, whack. Yeah, and he's crying.
But this was after all that.
He's crying.
The race is over.
There's no crying in NASCAR unless...
Obviously there is. We got it.
I like Bubba, but I'm starting to wonder about the tears.
Well, last week's show, we said Chevy was going to dominate Michigan because Chevy dominated the last 2-mile track we raced at. We were wrong. Toyota put their big boy pants on and showed up in a big way because the whole Toyota camp was really strong yesterday.
It's true. They were.
Even though Ford continued their winning streak at Michigan.
But we've seen a progression of Harvick for what? The last 10 races?
Yeah, Harvick's been
5 races. He's improved.
More than that, probably.
And improved.
Harvick's actually had a decent season.
Yeah, he's right there in points. Then he won. Now, what happens if another non-winner wins?
Now he's locked in, so it doesn't matter.
What happens if another non-winner wins the next couple of races? I mean, is Daytona going to be the greatest race we've ever seen?
Man, you want to jump to the very end? I mean, we can jump wherever. You're
so freaking OCD, dude. You're so freaking OCD.
All right, 15 of J.J. Yaley. Does not pit. Stays out. Grace goes back green. He turns Cindric head on into the wall, along with Eric Almirola, Michael McDowell.
8?
And Kyle Busch.
Go look. How many?
A lot.
I mean, I think he started, he parked, and he cried.
It says right here, he knocked the number 2, the number 10, the number 18, 21, 34, 38, 45, and 47. That's 8 cars plus himself. That's 9 total cars were involved in that accident. Now, he didn't take all of them out, but it does say that 9 were involved in that accident. So, Rick Ware Racing, because, Rick Ware's always running up top in the top 5. They decided they'd leave the 15 with 0 sponsorship out because, he's probably got the best equipment on the track. He 20 lap old tires. He can hold off the field for another 45
last
laps.
Week's tires, we're going to give them to you. You ain't got a sponsor.
Friggin' idiots, man. Like, I think they should penalize him. Rick Ware Racing should be penalized for that crap.
How much longer do you think Rick
They
Ware
should call it a what an idiot penalty.
You know, and this is an example of where the charters haven't worked. He gets a better payout than someone trying to get in through qualifying.
Even if they got a better car.
Obviously, he decided, hey, without a sponsor, it's still better to get my charter money.
Well, I don't
put this car that only has 2 gears out on the race.
I don't blame JJ Yaley whatsoever. I mean, I think if I was Yaley, I'd have been screaming, "Do not do this to me."
Dude, did you put the 6-cylinder in?
Are you trying to kill me? Why are you putting me up here? Do you want me to die? So, Jeff Gluck sends a tweet out right after this wreck happens. It says something along the lines of, Kyle Busch had a potential winning car, pit, loses track position, starts behind back markers who stayed out, now is wrecked and out of the race. This guy on Twitter, it was Jeff J, at Jeff Joldersma. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. It's Joldersma, though. I want to make sure
I think you're right.
Jeff knows that we're talking about him.
Joldersma!
He responds to Gluck with back marker comments won't help the 15 get a sponsor or faster. And he says, at Steve Letarte is always running down teams also on a regular basis. Elon Musk might have been considering helping the 15. You never know. Do better. What an idiot. Like, I tell my kids all the time, don't do something stupid or you'll end up on the podcast, right? Well, this guy's tweet was stupid. Like, the 15 car is literally in 33rd place in the points. How is that not a back marker team?
It is a back marker team.
And to think Elon Musk would sponsor Rick Ware Racing is stupid. Elon's got billions. If he's going to sponsor anybody, it's going to be Kevin Harvick. Or maybe he's going to sponsor Kyle Busch at Stewart-Haas Racing.
I think you're right. I think he would either go with Rick Hendrick, JGR, or SHR. Or maybe Dale Jr. needs to talk to him. Can you imagine how awesome?
In the Tesla?
If he did SpaceX, put an X on it? Like Racer X?
I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be really cool. I think they would do a good job together, too.
Elon. I think when we post this, we need to hashtag that Elon.
Hashtag Elon? Oh, like tag to him?
Tag him. Say, dude, he could give Junior the money to get in.
No doubt. But Junior's got the money, but
everybody likes to do with other people's money.
I don't even know if Elon watches NASCAR. How did Elon even get drug into this guy's tweet?
I don't know. He was hoping Elon would.
Respond.
Did he tag Elon?
Yeah, he did. It's at Elon Musk. So he definitely did. But Elon must have looked at him like, what an idiot.
Nah,
Elon thought Jeff J was an idiot too. So
Elon said he probably fired up another joint when the 15 wrecked. I don't think he watches NASCAR.
Maybe the 15 was smoking a joint when he wrecked.
He might have been.
It looked like he was stoned out of his mind because he forgot to go.
I think.
Green, green, green. He's going, I got my. Oh, wait, you meant go. My bad.
I think he thought when he was sipping his little water bottle that he was smoking out water bung.
You got that liquor in that water bottle.
I thought I told you to put my water bung in the car. I don't need no water. Shit, you put me on a 6-cylinder. I can do half the speed of the pack. So I need some drugs.
After the Rick Ware caution, Christopher Bell stays out and hangs on to win stage 1. But
you know, his son's actually been staying out of trouble.
Cody?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's because he's probably having to help fund Daddy. At this point,
could be.
His paycheck goes right back into the team. All right, Christopher Bell wins stage 1, but lets those rookie colors fly when Ross Chastain passes him. Puts both of them in the wall.
But what was your conspiracy theory? I mean, repeat it.
So my theory is Joe Gibbs has told all his drivers to take Ross Chastain out. Because clearly Christopher Bell was not clear. Even if his spotter... And this is on the front straightaway. His spotter had a clear view of it. So he knew it wasn't clear.
Well, you got a rear view mirror and a rear view TV screen.
Yeah, come on. You don't even need a spotter, essentially.
Not
anymore.
really.
Sorry, TJ, Freddie, and Brett. But
It sure has helped Logano block, though.
the TV,
Yeah.
the spotter helped him block too. Cole Custer has a left front tire go down, shredding rubber all over the track. Somehow or another, that lit a fire. Steve Letarte was saying it hit a brake line or something like that. I saw somewhere on Twitter they said it tore up the rocker box, and then the tire rubber
Is there
caught
oil
fire.
in a rocker box?
I'm not a mechanic, so I have no
So
idea.
you've
what
got
rocker
a
box
brake
is.
line going to, and I'm sure they've got performance calipers. You got brake lines going to both sides of the brake calipers.
Yeah.
You start spinning rubber, it's going to be pretty easy to bust a brake line, and brake fluid's very flammable.
Yeah, that made when they start saying rocker box on the broadcast, I got confused. Like Steve Letarte's explanation, whether it was right or wrong, made more sense to me.
It sounds more like a Van Halen song from the 80s.
Rocker box?
Rocker box.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know. Rated M for mature.
Maybe a poison song.
That could be, yeah.
What the cat drug in her rocker box. Oh man, I was just glad to see when he pulled the car down pit road on fire that the team actually got him out of the car this week versus last week where RFK left Buescher in the car while it was on fire, put the fire out, and then put him back on the track.
He finished pretty good too.
Could you imagine? I mean, Cole Custer's like, my suit's on fire. We got you.
Don't worry.
Don't move.
See the smoke coming out of the dash?
Dude, it was horrible.
Wow.
And the whole car looked destroyed.
It's the most on fire he's been all year.
No doubt about that.
I mean, at least he got his sponsor some attention.
You could see the
As it
composite
melted.
body melting. I mean, it was insane.
It looked like Dale Jr.'s Corvette in Sonoma.
All right, so here's my conspiracy theory of the month. And actually, I think it's just going to happen the rest of the year. I think Pop over at RCR, Mr. Childress, has told everybody on the team, whatever we do, Tyler Reddick doesn't win a championship with us.
Doesn't that kind of hurt yourself, though?
I think he's that kind of guy, though.
You think? Well, he is a ginger.
Richard would throw away.
You think he'd throw away a title?
Yeah, I do.
He hasn't had a title
It doesn't
since
matter.
Dale
That's because
Sr.
he's probably had pitched a hissy fit and thrown out other titles. So we know, well, we don't know for a fact. Speculation says he's a cheap guy and he doesn't spend any money on drivers. Otherwise, Dale Jr. would be driving for him. So I'm going to say Richard's a cheap guy and he's not willing to spend any money on a driver. So that's why he's bringing Austin Hill up. He gets a bargain.
He owned the 3. What could have been cooler than Dale Jr. driving the 3 for RCR?
Nothing. That would have been.
And think of the sponsors you would have gotten. It would have made Richard.
He would still be getting
He'd
sponsored
be
off
Richard Hendrick Childress.
He'd be richer than Richard is right now. He would have made more money off NASCAR than his boxed wine he sells. Or non-boxed. Hey,
It's very expensive.
You like boxed wine.
Yeah, I like the really nasty chillable red that comes in, 5-gallon barrels?
Look, shout out. I mean, by all means, we'll give a shout out to Austin Hill. He finished 18th in the 33 car in his first career start. But I still think Richard Childress is going to dive bomb this 8 team this year. Next year, I could see Reddick in the 33 full time. And then he'll move Austin Hill to the 8 so he can build sponsorship around Hill in the 8 car next season and have him ready for 2024, whatever he does. But I think he screws Tyler. I think he tries to make the next year and a half miserable for Reddick.
I think you're right about his cheapness. Let's go back to the Xfinity Talladega race.
Which one?
He got just the last one.
Okay.
At the Xfinity race,
Yeah. Okay.
he got Dale Jr.'s nephew to drive. He finished second.
Yeah, had a really good, but that didn't cost no money.
Oh, no, I think it was pay to drive.
Yeah, you
Pay to
think?
play. I think so.
That Larry Mack was in there too.
Well, I mean, dude.
Larry would have done it, probably did it for free.
Wouldn't you do it for free?
Well,
I mean,
Jeffrey Earnhardt probably did it for free.
I would.
Who do you have as a sponsor?
You and I would do their media for free.
Who was his sponsor? for that race? Jeffrey Earnhardt.
I don't remember.
Remember it? Didn't it look like Goodwrench, but it wasn't Goodwrench?
Yeah.
Like Bad Wrench or something like that?
BF Goodrich.
Goodrich?
I'm not making that up. Don't quote me, people.
We have no idea what it was, actually. That's why we're just sitting here guessing.
Cheese sticks. That's what it was. Cheese sticks.
Cheese sticks, better than toe cheese.
Or cheddars.
Or toe link. I hate the word toe link. I'm so tired of toe link. Like, toe link sounds like some nasty toe fungus.
I know, or rocker box is awesome.
Yeah, can't we change the toe link to rocker box?
Rocker link.
Like Noah Gregson yesterday, after he got into the wall, he broke his toe link. See, it just sounds horrible. Noah hit the wall and broke his toe link. I mean,
it sounds like a physical dilemma, not a card
nasty.
problem.
Like
he needs to tape his tongue up because he stubbed it. His toe link got screwed.
Like I said, it sounds like a fungus. Or
a sexually transmitted disease.
Is there a vaccine for toe link?
I don't know. It might be the next big thing after monkeypox.
Toe link is next.
Toepox.
You heard it here first, people. Toe link is going to be the next pandemic we face in this country.
Where's that going to come from? Russia?
Probably. Daytona. It's going to originate here.
It'll start in Russia. It'll hit the U.S. ground in Daytona.
At the 24-hour
I can't wait to read new reviews from our favorite hotel in Daytona. You know I'm doing it.
Oh, no doubt.
Oh.
That's going to be
That's going to be rocker box.
Next time we're in Daytona for the 24 hours, we should stop by what was that called? The Beach Shack Inn?
I don't know. We're staying at the Tiki Lounge, and we got to drive past the beach.
The beach house.
Homeless beach inn.
Yeah, the homeless person inn.
To get to the track.
We'll stop by and see if Gold Gym Glove Lady's still there.
What about that weird, overly nice lady at the Tiki Lounge?
Which one was that? Was that the lady?
I think she was.
Or is that the lady?
No, our waitress.
Oh, the one that brought us our burgers.
She was super nice. That we actually felt suspicious about her niceness. Do you think she was genuine? Like she just rolled down from Nebraska?
That's what she said. She was from up north or something. She was new, right?
Was she just naive?
Probably. She has never worked at the Beach House Inn.
Oh, I think the people that work at the Beach House Inn, it's illegal.
It's probably
like
sex trafficking or something going on.
I'm surprised they didn't charge us by the hour. You're going to be here 48 hours. It's $100 an hour. Anyway.
Denny Hamlin looked really strong yesterday, even without the scotch tape on his car.
The dude was burning some wheel, dude.
He went, so Denny Hamlin won stage 2. And then with 36 laps to go, Denny Hamlin gets the too many men over the wall penalty, sending him to the rear at the restart. After the restart and after that penalty that put him in the rear, he finishes 3rd.
You know, though,
That's impressive.
I think they could have not got the penalty if the crew member just waited for it to go into the entrance to the garage area.
That's what I was thinking, too. It was going to roll behind the wall.
Yeah.
Let it.
Does that technically leave your box? It doesn't go to someone else's box.
Well, he was still over the wall. I mean, either way you look at it, too many minutes.
He's not over the wall if it goes behind the wall, though.
No, but he walked out into pit road.
He shouldn't have, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with you. He should have just let it roll.
Then he might have won.
Then it would have probably been an uncontrolled tire, though. Because they got, what's his name, earlier in the race for an uncontrolled tire like that.
Watermelon Man, where there were watermelons rolling all over the place?
Yeah, so they hit him with an uncontrolled tire, so they would have got, Denny was getting a penalty regardless. He just got too many men over the wall. He was going to get an uncontrolled tire penalty.
Don't you wish there were 5 more laps and you'd have to see what he would do with Bubba?
He wouldn't have.
What would have been more important, Bubba or the win?
Actually, Denny would have wrecked Bubba, I think.
Yeah. I think Denny wants to win.
Yeah, I don't think on the track Denny sees 23:11. I think he's able to compartmentalize that. I said it right.
You did say it right. That's some good math there.
I've been practicing. In the mirror in the mornings, I practice that one word.
With your new microphone?
Compartmentalize. All right. Daniel Suarez, with 5 laps to go, has a tire going down, and I truly thought that guy from the All-Star race was going to be working the caution button again, and we were going to get a caution there.
He did stay out of the way.
I was glad we didn't get a caution, but
Weren't you shocked we didn't have a caution since Harvick got up front? There were no cautions.
Yeah, I know. Harvick led the last, what, 34, 35 laps?
Yeah.
Something like that. 38 laps. So he led the last 38 laps of the race. Dominated it. Not just led it. I mean, he just drove. He won with like a 4-second lead almost over Bubba Wallace.
Oh, there was nobody catching him. There was just no way.
I make fun of Kevin Harvick on here a lot. Actually, we both do. We call him Grandpa Harvick. I'm still going to call him Old Man Harvick, but it was great to see that old man win the race yesterday.
Well, didn't we hear Dale Jr. on his download say, oh, you kind of peak at 43? He's 46.
Yeah, so he's already peaked.
And he's still making babies.
And he's still winning.
Did his wife actually have the baby, or did they hire a surrogate?
No, they had both theirs.
Really?
Yeah.
With their kind of money?
Yeah.
They didn't go like Hollywood?
The kids look just like both of them.
Yeah, but they take an egg and they take
Hollywood.
A sperm and they put it together.
They're not Hollywood. They've never been on Racing Wives or
Didn't Bush's second child, they hire somebody?
Hanging with the Ringolds.
Didn't they?
Yes, but that's because
They're Hollywood?
No, she couldn't get pregnant.
Well, how did she have any eggs then?
She had some, I don't know.
Was her first baby, was it?
Yes, that was her.
She did that one?
Yep, that was with the in vitro.
It's so confusing.
And the second one they couldn't get the in vitro to take, so they had a surrogate.
Could a scientist just invent an artificial uterus?
Oh, I'm sure.
They probably already have.
That's like cloning, though, so I'm sure we're getting...
No, they take your egg. Well, they don't, not your egg. They take your wife's egg, and they take your sperm, and they put in the artificial uterus.
In like the microwave?
Yeah.
For 9 months, you gotta leave a baby in a microwave?
That'll probably be the next spending bill next month. The artificial uterus green bill. All right.
Oh, man, we gotta keep you off politics. Or we're going to have another podcast to make up fake
Oh,
names.
I'm going to have one, but I'm not going to. I think they'll send the CIA out to assassinate me with my opinions.
Probably. So, Kevin Harvick holds on the last 38 laps to win the FireKeepers Casino 400. That was 687 days in between wins, 65 races.
You asked me before the podcast, is the FireKeepers tribe.
Yeah, I know.
Now I'm wondering if it's a Christian organization. Doesn't it sound like a Christian organization?
They wouldn't have a casino.
Keepers of the Flame?
They wouldn't have a casino. I thought the Indians invented fire.
Why not? You would be separating the unchurched from their money.
Maybe the Indian. I don't think that's how it works.
Am I confused with my Quakerism?
Yeah, definitely. I'm confused with the whole FireKeepers. I thought it was like the Firemen's Union, but they don't have casinos either.
But they put out fires. Wouldn't that be the flame retardant keepers?
Maybe.
The hose keepers.
The hose keepers. Keepers of the Water Casino 400. I was glad to see Harvick win, though, and Harvick got out and said, "Those who question us don't know us."
Well, he's had crazy eyes since he was young, so I wouldn't question him.
Well, he had a 2-year dry spout, so...
I mean, look at him.
You have every right to question him.
For anybody that doesn't believe me that he has crazy eyes, go to YouTube. They have the post-race interview. It's like a 3-minute video. Look at his eyes. That dude is nuts.
So let me ask you this. Do you think Kevin Harvick is back? Do you think Kevin Harvick is a true... He's in the playoffs. Do you think he's a true top 4 championship contender?
I think this will be a Viagra boost for the rest of the year.
So do you think he could win the championship? Yes. Or no?
I believe he can.
I don't.
As long as a team.
I think he's out in the first round.
Wow, really?
He has. I mean, he's been consistent all year. Well, not all year, but the second half
since
of
the All-Star race. Well, I would say the last 5 races.
Yeah, it was the second half of the regular season. We can say he's been strong since then.
But Tony can put all the best from all the other teams since he's in. Well, Briscoe's in.
Yeah. I don't think he's back. I think he is. I think it's just a one-time thing.
You think?
I think we just saw Kevin Harvick's last win.
I say he makes it to the Elite 8.
12.
And he wins.
At most, he makes it to the
wins
second round.
one more. maybe in the chase, but one of the next two.
I don't think he finishes top 5 again rest of the season.
Really?
Yeah. I don't see it. Like,
What do you see him in a walker sipping his meal through a straw?
legit, Kevin Harvick has led 11 laps prior to today. Sunday, whenever they raced. Prior to that, he had led 11 laps all season, and that came at Atlanta, which is a restrictor plate race, super speedway. And then he goes and leads 38 laps yesterday and wins the race.
I think he can win Daytona.
Well, anybody could. I could win
Right.
Daytona.
Right.
So, yeah, okay, he's got one more shot to win.
Or Talladega in the chase.
Yeah. But historically, Harvick runs pretty crappy at Talladega and Daytona.
They just put the bush apple on there. Put an apple in his bush.
I mean, you put an apple in the bush, you roll.
Because was that the first time the apple was on the bush?
I don't think so.
I'm going to go through the livery history of this year.
And look for bush apple.
It's not even in my grocery stores. I looked.
Is it bush apple or apple bush?
It's Bush Light Apple, or is it Bud Light Apple?
No, it's a Bush Light product. They took Bud Light's no longer. Budweiser's no longer. Remember, they put Bush instead of Budweiser because Bush's stock was down. So they figured if they put it on the car, their stock would go up.
Huh.
So it's Bush. I've never even heard of Bush Apple until yesterday. What's up with the apple trend? Why does everybody want apple? What was that? Wicked apple or?
That was a while back. The hard cider?
Yeah, Wicked Tree Apple or something like
I
that.
liked it a little.
What was it called?
Wicked Apple.
Mad Apple?
Wicked Ale. Wicked Ale Apple cider.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're not big drinkers here.
All right, so Kevin Harvick winning yesterday now leaves one spot open in the playoffs. We have Richmond, Daytona, and Watkins Glen left. To me, this is the best thing that could happen. I hope that Richmond and Watkins Glen have a repeat winner.
Oh, no. I hope. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, I want to go to Daytona with one person making it on points.
Oh, I want to go.
Because nobody makes it on points.
No, I want it to go with one person in if they win Daytona.
That's how,
It's going to be freaking insane. There's going to be 10 cars that finish the race.
That's what I mean. We need repeat winners at Richmond. We need repeat winner at Watkins Glen.
It's doable.
You have 15 winners and one open spot going into Daytona.
Chase is going to win Watkins Glen. I'm just calling it right now.
You think?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised. And Chase hasn't won a road course, so he recently.
And Denny's going to win. I'm not going to say. We'll
think?
wait for my predictions.
I mean, that's possible too. But
Richmond's his home track.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's very possible.
And you saw Danny yesterday. Oh, my goodness.
So let me ask you this. I think it's the perfect setup going into Daytona with only one spot available. But with all the parity now in the sport, we obviously have more parity. We have 15 winners this season. It's a record. So we have more parity. Do we get rid of the chase? Winning, you're in. Because big names are going to start missing the chase. There's more than 16 big names in the sport now. I mean, that's just a given.
But the chase...
I'm okay with an emphasis being put on winning. I think we'd scrap the points altogether. I mean, who needs points? Just make it on wins.
Well, you can give them points for, 0 points for coming in second.
Yeah.
Because really, you're the first loser, right?
Exactly. Yeah, second is first loser all day. But, I mean, so I guess if you don't have 16 winners, you would need a points to determine who.
But if you so you give them points, right?
My question is, do you like the chase or the playoffs with 16 winning you're in drivers with the parity with the new car?
I like it and I don't like it.
Yeah. See, I'm kind of with you on that.
Because if you're consistent, look at Kenseth in the 17th car. He was more consistent than anybody, didn't win, but won a championship.
Right now, you have Alex Bowman getting in the chase, and Alex Bowman has sucked. Up in this weekend, he did pretty good. He finished 9th this weekend.
His stock's been going down lately.
Yeah. So he's locked into the chase already, and he sucked all summer. But then you got somebody like Martin Truex, who is currently on the outside looking in, and he's run consistently well all season.
He could win Richmond, and then our fun's over for Daytona.
I don't know. I still think Daytona is going to be exciting because if he wins Richmond, then you got 16 winners at Daytona. So one of the winners could be out of the chase. And, at Daytona, there's essentially, 30 cars that can win? I mean, we know we have some back marker teams like
Even
Rick
they
Ware
could
Racing.
win.
No way Rick Ware
Cody
Racing
Ware he came in 6th in Atlanta, didn't he? Or was it 7th?
I don't remember that.
Corey LaJoie could win.
Yeah, but he's not a Rick Ware.
No, he's not.
But he is a back marker. I think Corey's a back marker.
He finishes in the top 20 quite frequently, though.
Well, he finished 19th yesterday.
Well, what did I say?
Yeah, I'm just saying Spire Motorsports is not known for winning races.
Neither is Rick Ware.
Corey needs to go to RCR.
Corey might be a good fit for RCR.
He's loyal. And that's what Richard likes, is loyalty. He doesn't like
And he'll work for
pennies.
Crumbs. Yeah, pennies.
Stacking pennies.
Yeah.
You give him a nickel, he's in.
Oh, yeah. He'll
Stacking
go.
nickels, he's
I'm
definitely
rich. I'm rich.
in. Martin Truex says after the race, we have to win. Simple as that.
It's true. Well, pretty much everyone's. If you haven't won yet and you want to be in the playoffs, you need to win.
Like I said, to me, this new car takes point racing out of the scenario. It puts the emphasis on winning, 100%.
So what if you did a new chase? We're not going to limit the number of people in the chase. You have to win.
I'm good with that. Whether it's 12 drivers
Or 20.
Or 20. I'm 100% okay with that. I think that would be great. Now, the only thing that changes is if you have 20 drivers, the first round, I think you eliminate 4 drivers each round except round 1. Round 1, you go from, if it's 36 winners, you go from 36 to 12 at the end of round 1.
Sounds good.
Instead of 4 being eliminated, you eliminate down to 12, period.
And the points, we'll still count the points. The points count up. We're not going to have qualifying in the chase. The points are where you line up for the chase.
Qualifying?
Yep.
I'm good with that too. I think that would be cool. I'm okay with that. But what if you don't have so if we don't have 16 winners, we don't have 16 in the chase, right?
No, we only have 8 winners because the 3 big teams dominate.
Then you
We only have 8 cars in it.
Do you start the chase earlier then? I mean later?
No.
Well, how do you eliminate from 8 with 10 races down?
We start giving points in the first round.
So no eliminations in round 1.
No. Well, no, we eliminate.
Just 1 car.
Yeah.
You'd have to do something.
See, the one thing about the stage racing I like is
That's what
there's
messes
racing.
It up. It's too few winners messes it up, where too many winners is why you would need that.
The stage racing makes everyone race the whole race.
Yeah. And it makes you try.
Yeah.
I like stage racing. I like stage racing everywhere except road courses. So I'm with you. I think we need.
Should we single file start on road courses?
No, we should never single file start again ever.
You'd eliminate the problem at Indiana, which I loved. I loved that 90-degree turn that went down to 2 lanes.
I mean, it was about the only thing worth the dang on that race last weekend. Was that 90-degree turn that went down to 2 lanes?
Well, I would like to see how the new car works on the oval and then just go away. Indy's for Indy, Daytona's for Daytona.
Well, next weekend we should have a really exciting race because we're going to the action track, as they call it, or as we call it.
I'm going to have to watch it on the replay because I'm traveling for work that day.
You're traveling on Sunday?
Yep.
So we're recording
after I watch the replay.
We're recording virtually next week because Jamie will be out of town, and then the week after that we'll be recording virtually because I'll be out of town. So we will still have a show. But Jamie, if we were going to go to Richmond next weekend, where would we not want to stay at?
Multiple places. Since we've already been to Richmond and we've already covered the hotels within 15 minutes of the track, I did the 4 corners of the compass, went an hour out And let's say you wanted to save some money and not get stung by the race tax. These are places you could stay.
Look, I booked our hotel room for North Wilkesboro. That race tax sucks.
Well, that's what I did for the 600.
Like-
we had to stay near the airport because it was $400 a night.
Yeah, legit. It was $100 more a night. The day before the race, the 2 days of the race, and the day after the race in North Wilkesboro. Those 4 days, the 2 nights we needed it, were $100 more a night than the previous week. And then that Friday, the price drops back down $100.
But what did we do in Richmond? What was it, 20 minutes to our hotel near the airport?
Yeah, but we had to do that. Now, we still are staying in North Wilkesboro. We're just staying at the Holiday Inn versus the Hilton, but I'm good with that.
First, for those of you coming from the Northeast that might be coming down to the race, I went to Fredericksburg, Virginia. The Travelodge by Wyndham. Should we drum roll for a Wyndham? They're quite common.
Dun, 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 dun.
I actually looked for non-Wyndhams.
You always have,
And if
we
it's
have to start with a Wyndham, though. It's kind of like a tradition.
Well, pretty much if it's a crappy hotel, it's a Wyndham.
You think Wyndham's going around just signing up all these 2-star hotels? They're like, hey, we can get them, we can get them, we can get them.
Yeah, what do you think they do? Only charge 3% sales fee?
Probably.
Because they suck and they don't give refunds. You think Wyndham would say, hey, look, clean up a little bit
Nah, I don't.
and give a refund because you suck?
Well, then you would have, that might affect.
We'd have to have a new segment.
Exactly. That would affect our segment if they got better. I hope they never improve.
Well, this is very recent. Jacob Clay
Yes, sir.
gave it a 1 out of 5 on Google. I'm assuming he's a veteran. I could be wrong. It's in my opinion anyway. But he said the road leading up to the receptionist felt like I was in a Humvee driving through Baghdad. Cum stains everywhere, including the floor.
Is this still in the reception area?
The room smelled like cigarettes. The photos were very misleading on the site. The beds had cigarette burns and were stained. Well, you kind of cover that with the orgy that happened in your room or maybe the lobby. I would not recommend this place to anyone. I recommend the building owner should renovate immediately. Which, he was a little disgusting, but he was very to the point.
Yeah, they had cum stains on the floor leading up to the reception desk.
And just to cover, since Jacob was very short in his review, I did Michelle McManus. She gave it a 1 out of 5. Well, she doesn't go into detail about the stains, but she says this is the nastiest, dirty place I've ever stayed at. The only reason we stayed the night is because we had nowhere else to go for the night. We wouldn't even keep our bags in the room with us. The sink is broken. The tub is full of mold.
Dude, that's a problem.
We cannot even turn on the lamp next to the bed since there is no outlet close enough to the plug to plug it into. The sheets were dirty, and their way of fixing it was giving me sheets to change myself. The lock is broken. There's a chunk of metal next to the door that almost cut my leg. Dirty sheet, ripped up pillows, filthy floors, and freaking roaches. Never, ever, ever, ever stayed at a travel lodge. No matter how good of a deal you might think it might be.
Dude, well, we've learned one thing over the last 27 episodes is a good deal is probably a bad deal.
Yeah, you get what you pay for.
If you're looking for a deal, then you shouldn't even be able to leave a review here.
If you can spend $125 for a ticket, spend $125 for a room.
Exactly.
It might not be next to the track, but 30, 40 an hour out, $120 will get you one heck of a 4.0 or better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, $120 close to the tracks can get you a 3-star. This lady probably paid, what do you think, $79.99 a night?
Yeah.
At the most.
And because it's a Wyndham, they like to, ask for a $50 cash deposit. At least in the reviews we've seen.
I would have lost my crap on this tub is full of mold thing. I mean, even at the Beach Crack Inn, that tub, it had holes in the bottom. Remember the little bitty eyes
had a big hole. But
I didn't really go in the bathroom there long enough to look for the mold, but I'm sure it was there.
dude, some Ajax and a scrubber will clean mold off that crappy old cast iron at the Beach Butt Inn.
Then you'll have a lamp with no outlet. That's funny.
Get an extension cord. I mean, obviously you don't care about
The
anyone.
lock is broken. Like, no. I would have not even... I can't believe Michelle... Is it Michelle or Michael?
Well, you know, I don't know. I bought this thing on Amazon. It goes into the door jamb.
And it's got the little thing.
It's got the little lock that sticks in there.
Yep.
Because
I got one in the bed. I got one in my room right now.
I
travel with it.
It comes out of the bag if I can't lock that lock above the regular lock.
Yeah.
It just comes out, man.
Because that lock will prevent room service from using the key card to get in your room. That's the best part about those things. Where are we going next?
Super 8 by Wyndham.
Y'all notice the trend here, right?
In Lynchburg, for those of you coming down from, say, Ohio, Michigan, Tennessee, you might want to see the race driving up 81. So Lynchburg, you do not want to stay at the Super 8 by Wyndham.
You definitely don't want to stay at this one.
So this is bit of Gilfer or bad golfer? Bit of Gilfer, bit of Gilfer.
I'm going with bad.
Bad Gilfer.
It doesn't say golfer. There's no O. It says
Maybe that tagline was taken, so it became Bad Gilfer.
bagged Lilfer. Maybe it's bagged Liffer. Let's go with that.
But anyway,
Bagged Liffer.
he says he gives it a 1 out of 5 on Google, as one might expect from any product labeled super. This motel failed miserably. There were new COVID protections in place. And this was just a year ago, so plexiglass partitions at the counter for check-in, but the desk clerk handled both my ID and credit card, even though there was a credit card reader on the desk on my side. Having stayed at many of these properties, there's your problem, bit of Gilfer.
Exactly.
I was familiar with the basic comforts that are associated with the properties.
Comfort. Look, no. You do not ever use the word comfort when you're talking about a super anything. Super 8, Super 6, Super 4.
What is this Super 8 Wyndham?
Actually, when the word Wyndham is used, the word comfort is not allowed.
Wyndham sounds very rich to me, though. I don't know.
That's why they sell that name. It sounds nice, but it's not ever nice. Ever. We've never reviewed a Wyndham and go, sounds pretty nice. We'll stay here. I've never even read a Wyndham review that sounded nice.
Well, there are some 5 out of 5s, but I have a feeling they use a call center in Bhopal to go in and rate, because the ratings are all the same. It's like they copy and paste.
No, it's when they hire you, you're required to go on your Google and leave a good rating when you get hired there.
That could be.
I think it's... I can't.
Well, anyway,
I can't believe this guy used the word comfort.
He said microwave, mini fridge, and a single coffee cup maker. The room appeared passable. The bedclothes were very tired.
What?
Clothes? The bedding. Can't you just say bedding?
How is it tired?
He's a frequent miler, or whatever you call a Wyndham. A Wyndhamette.
Club member.
They were beyond well used. Included with my room. Oh, is this a cliffhanger? Key card was a simple use alcohol wipe. What? Not sure what that was intended to provide, other than a very minor feeling of extra protection. Did he mean that they gave him a wipe with the card?
That's what I think. They wiped his card down when they handed it to him, maybe.
I carried with me a bottle of hand sanitizer and used it with paper towels. I carried to wipe down the desk, TV remote, bathroom counter, and the lamp control, door handle, light switch, and fridge door. The walls are very thin in these motels, and you can often hear the TV in the adjoining room. Same here. My room was at the end of the hall and near the stairwell. Uncaring and likely unaware, patrons traversed the steps well into the early morning hours with loud and often thunderous. That evening stay was just basic. No comforter or extra blankets were provided. And the heat AC was working. The carpet was old and
That's
did not.
great.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's
but
a
it worked.
plus.
The carpet was old and did not appear very clean. Choosing to wear my socks while in the room seemed to be a prudent choice. The morning offered new surprises, however. I had picked up a couple of things at the store before checking in, and as I moved the bags on the desk counter, bugs appeared. I only saw 3 and hadn't put my glasses on yet. I can't honestly say what type they were. Each was 1 inch or so long, 1.5 inch or so long. I have always heard that for everyone you see, there are far more. You don't. The bathroom offered more issues. The tub shower was heavily stained. Towels were very worn, as were the washcloths. When I closed the bathroom door to avail myself... Oh, God, that's a great way to
You
say
think
it.
it meant to leave?
I'm going to avail myself. No, I think he pooped. I think he was pooping.
Avail. Never said that. A leave, maybe.
Well, when I closed the bathroom door to avail myself of He-Wall hook for my shaving kit, there was blood on the wall about 2.5 feet from the floor. When I went to check out, I shared these issues with the 2 ladies working the desk. One was on her way out the door and said nothing. The other lady apologized once. She did not offer any explanation, but didn't seem terribly surprised. She also offered no type of solution or compensation. I would have expected at least some kind of discount, or perhaps Wyndham points. He is a pointer. But again, neither was offered. If you choose to stay here, just understand it's basic accommodation with possibly other surprises and no solutions if you present issues to the staff. Now, on my own, I was a little curious because this guy is very detailed. I think there was a lot of, this is my opinion, but I think there was a lot of blood. So I Googled the hotel. I copied the hotel name and address and dumped it in Google. And then I clicked news. And here's what I came up with. And this was written by, it wasn't written, it was actually a TV segment from the local news by Sarah Irby. And this was put out on November 25, 2020 for WDBJ of Lynchburg, Virginia.
WDBJ?
WDBJ. Kind of like
We're such kids.
rocker boxes, huh?
We're such boys.
Wow.
Rocker boxes and
But
BJs.
I wish we had
it
an
all.
old typewriter. Breaking news. Police are investigating a homicide at a Lynchburg motel Tuesday evening. Officers with the Lynchburg Police Department were called to the Super 8 Motel at 3736 Candler Mountain Road just after 7 p.m. for a report of a shooting. Lamarck Williams, 48 of Petersburg, was found dead with a single gunshot wound. Ishmael Bailey, 24 of Richmond, was taken into custody at the scene. He is charged with second-degree murder and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. So, people, if you see blood in a review, copy and paste the hotel and address, dump it in Google, and hit news. Y'all might find out why there's blood.
So what you're saying is the blood that was in this dude's bathroom was Lamar.
Could have been.
Allegedly,
Could have been.
possibly, allegedly could have been
Yeah.
announced of a rumor
Uh-huh.
type of thing. Kind of like the Chicago street course.
Yeah. Or drive-by shootings. They happen.
I'm just asking, like, is it Lamarck's blood?
Well, we've read about blood in other rooms, and I said, I'm going to take this a step further.
So this might be our first murder. Allegedly.
Well, we've had ghosts. Now we got murders.
So when we go back to Richmond next season, maybe we can find a review at the Super Motel 8 with Lamarck's ghost.
For the second race in Richmond? Because we're going to have a whole new slew of reviews at the same hotels
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah. So anyway.
Where else we going? Or not going? Dude, Wyndham is on a flipping roll with us this week.
Oh, I didn't finish it verbatim. Anyone with information about the incident is asked to contact Detective Doobie. Oh, my God.
Hey, man,
What the hell?
Oh, man.
This is legit, folks. at 434-455-6102 or Crime Stoppers at 888-798-5900. Enter a tip online at http. I'm just not going to do it.
You have Detective Doobie on WDBJ.
On an episode where we have hot rocker boxes.
Hot rocker boxes, cum stains, doobies,
Detective
and
Doobie.
WDBJs.
So there's a lot of, maybe you don't even want to stay in Lynchburg, folks. There's some weird stuff going on there.
We've been off the rocker since the rocker box.
For those of you coming up from where we live, possibly Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, I chose the city of Emporia, Virginia, which is home of the Sadler brothers.
Elliot Sadler.
And it's the Day Inn by Wyndham. Excuse me.
Don't throw up.
I actually stayed at this hotel.
Really?
Yeah, the wife and kids and I, we went to see New York City a few years ago.
You stayed here?
And I wanted to do the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. So you go for a bridge for like 15 miles, and in the middle of the freaking ocean, there's a tunnel.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So we went through there, and to my wife Jody's chagrin, we made it to Emporia, and I stopped at the Days Inn, and guess what? It sucks. It sucked when we stayed there.
So it's gotten no better.
Luckily, we had stayed at my mother-in-law's home in Washington, D.C., and brought some sheets and bedding with us, so we were prepared. And we washed them before we left my mother-in-law's house, so they were clean, unlike what they have on the bed. But anyway, back to the Days Inn by Wyndham. Lavon Smallwood. Oh, God. Smallwood. What the hell? I did not do this. I did not pick a theme.
Doobie.
Smallwood. WDBJ.
What else we have?
You picked.
Rocker box.
You picked the rocker box.
I did put the rocker. I started this with rocker boxes.
Yeah. There was no collusion here.
Fiery rocker boxes.
So, Mr. Smallwood. My wife calls me Smallwood. He gave it a 1 out of 5.
Only you're supposed to announce that.
Hey.
Whatever.
Doesn't bother me. He had an opportunity to read some reviews after staying last night. He did it afterwards, like we did with the Beach Bud Inn.
It's always bad. You learn your lesson.
Yeah. He stayed after last night at the Emporia, Virginia Inn. Days Inn. I wish I had done it prior to booking. Yeah. We did too. While we did not have any bed bugs, I think. That's his writing, not mine. Everything else is the 1-star review was spot on. The girl at the desk was able to change my days as I had booked somehow the wrong night. Everything after that was downhill from there. We had a non-smoking room that clearly someone must have smoked in.
It happens.
Minutes prior, because it reeked. And there were cigarette burns on the bedspread.
It was a cleaning lady.
Yeah, it was a cleaning lady. Marge. Cleanliness was an afterthought. There was animal fur and stains all over the carpet. You could clearly hear adjacent rooms, which in this case was a detriment to my neighbors. Were quite vigorous and vocal in their activities. Wow. I had to turn the TV up to shield my 11-year-old daughter from hearing what was going on. Water ran brown in the sink, tub and toilet. We used bottled water to brush our teeth and waited to shower after arriving at our destination tonight. A very loud group had chosen the rear lot of the building as their hangout and were there until early morning. They kept us up all night, and with the noise and with me checking constantly to make sure they didn't damage my car, Definitely not people staying there because they all got in their cars and left without returning. No answer to the 2 calls to the front desk to discuss these issues. Word of advice, unless you're desperate, steer clear of this place. You can do far better for $80 a night. You know what? This is probably the most well-written review we've ever done.
Yeah, but you can't do better for $80 a night. Look, we're going to North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, middle of nowhere. There's nothing there except a racetrack that was about to be torn down.
Hickory's what, 45 minutes to an hour away?
Charlotte's 80 miles away.
Asheville's an hour and a half.
But the cheapest hotel that I would actually stay in was $200 something a night. Now, granted, my son will be with us, so we weren't going to beach house in it anyway. But we kind of learned our lesson in Florida. We've upped our game since then.
Yeah, we've
went from 2-star to 4.
Yeah, 4 is like our minimum.
Yeah. We read the reviews before we go, not after we go.
Yeah, we actually listen to the reviews. So if you're like me, coming from New York, New Jersey, New England, and want to experience the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, you might end up in Newport News. And you might see the Oyster Point Inn at Newport News. Keep going.
Don't stop.
Keep going. Go to Virginia Beach, get you some beachfront hotel.
Sleep in the car.
Yeah, don't stay here. And this Peter Hudson.
Oh, Peter.
Wow, Smallwood, Peter, BJ's, rocker boxes.
At least it's not Peter Smallwood.
Yeah, that's true. That'd be. You would curse your child.
Peter Smallwood.
Yeah, that'd be just mean.
Or Richard Smallwood.
And then people just call you Dick. People don't call Richards Dicks anymore.
You know,
Old people.
Dick Childress.
There's dicks that are older, but people are going with Rich.
So it could have been DCR,
Buddy.
Dick Childress Racing.
I don't think he liked Dick. Okay, that's so wrong. Okay, so he chose Richard over Dick. That's even wrong. Whatever. I quit. I'm going to read this frickin' review from Peter Hudson. Gave it a 1 out of 5 on Google. Well, where should we start? The lobby smelled like a college frat house. Weed and regrets. That sounded like my frat house. I am a very optimistic person, though, and like the live life on the edge. So I convinced my girlfriend to continue on. When we got on the elevator, I thought I stepped into the movie Final Destination. I like this guy. Because there was no ceiling tiles and seemed like a task you would have to complete on Fear Factor. When we entered our non-smoking room, we were taken back by the strong smell of both smoke, mold, and mildew. The room was so nasty, COVID itself could not survive a night stay. I like Peter. Old Pete. One look at the beds and the sheets, and we knew we had not had enough vaccinations to sleep on top of those sheets. We decided to make a trip to Walmart to buy new sheets and pillows. We left them there after our stay because we simply did not know what kind of bacteria we had been on there, and we didn't want to start a new pandemic. If you were a risk taker, an adrenaline junkie, I would highly suggest this hotel because you're going to love the unknown. It's kind of like jumping out of an airplane and wondering if your parachute is going to open or not.
Oh, man.
I like Peter. He's a good guy.
That's probably legit the best review I've ever read.
Yeah, there's no ghost murders or...
No, but this dude...
Popping hillbillies.
He was just funny.
Yeah, he was.
COVID itself couldn't survive here.
They were afraid of starting a new pandemic.
Maybe that's where Topox is going to start at, right?
Yeah, Topox.
Topox
start at the Oyster Point Inn, Newport News.
Peter.
Yeah. So that's what we got, guys. The four corners of the world. An hour out from Richmond. Enjoy.
All right, well, we are going to Richmond. It's a 7.5-mile D-shaped oval, 14 degrees of banking.
Did you say
Asphalt.
D-shaped?
Asphalt, 51,000 capacity. NASCAR owns it. It was first raced in 1946.
That's an OG there, man.
Oh, yeah, it's an old track.
That's before NASCAR.
Before you were born.
Way before I was born. You're at my parents' years there, dude.
It was
Actually, my dad was like 20 years older than my mom, so you're at my mom's age there, dude.
40s.
If you're in 40, yeah, you'd be like 60, 70 now. Yeah.
Your mom's age.
Exactly, yeah.
Not your age.
No.
All right, race is at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on USA Network, and it can be caught on MRN Radio. Fantasy stats for this race, the OG statisticals, as we used to call them. Kyle Busch has 33 starts here, 6 wins, and 26 top 10s.
Well, you know, Kyle Busch has kind of Larry bombed his season, hasn't he?
Definitely.
I mean, LB.
He's had a rough last few weeks, for sure.
For those of you, I'm just going to clue you in. LB was one of our old managers. It's weird. Brad and I no longer work at that company because of LB, because we left him. But our manager before that was KB.
We've had a lot of KBs.
And then before that was MB.
And now it's
RB. But you know what? If you have a B as your last initial, you got a 75% chance of being a good manager and a 25% chance of sucking.
And a 100% chance of being our manager.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That is crazy, man.
Isn't it?
RB, KB, LB, M. Yeah.
Yes, and RB.
That is insane. We even left to a new company, and it's got it again.
Yeah, got another B.
Man.
Weird coincidence.
All right. So KB, or Kyle Busch, 33 starts, 6 wins, 26 top 10s.
Did you go Kevin Brown for a second? Oh, do we have to pay him royalties because I used his name?
Man.
Great manager.
Denny Hamlin, 31 starts, 4 wins, 20 top 10s. Kevin Harvick, 42 starts, 3 wins, 28 top 10s. Martin Truex, 32 starts, 3 wins, 15 top 10s. Kyle Larson has 15 starts, 1 win, 7 top 10s. Logano has 26 starts, 2 wins, and 15 top 10s. Blaney has 12 starts and 2 top 10s. And Bubba Wallace has 8 starts. My picks for this week are Denny, Truex, Blaney. I've got Larson down, but I think I'm going to go with Bubba.
Wow.
I think I'm going to trade Larson for Bubba. Yep. I'm going to go Denny, Truex, Bubba, and Blaney.
So, I did like your picks of Denny and Blaney. But, as I stated earlier, old man Harvick is on a roll. So I'm going to go with Harvick and Joey L. And I don't even like Joey. But he's been performing pretty well.
Yeah, no doubt. But I just couldn't pick him at all.
Wouldn't you rather be right?
I really think Toyota's got something going right now. Toyota used to run good here.
I'm going with Denny number 1 because that's his home track, and he just won there.
I think Denny or Truex are going to win the race.
And look what Denny's done in the last 5 races. Disqualified because of some tape.
Oh, yeah, I went to 35th yesterday, or went to the back of the field.
Back and all the way up.
Laps to go and finish 3rd.
Yep.
But that's what I'm saying. Toyota's got something going right now, and
you know what I would do if I was Gibbs Racing?
I think the winner of this week of Richmond is going to be a desperate play. It's going to be a desperate winner. So it's going to be a Truex, Blaney, Bubba, those guys trying to get into the final 16. It's going to be one of those guys, I think.
If I was Coach Gibbs, I would send a car over to 2311 and see if Little Ty could qualify for the race. I would.
Oh, do a third car?
Yeah, just make them go in qualifying without a charter.
Yeah. Why
I mean,
not?
the dude is just tremendous.
So, would you screw up his rookie eligibility?
How many races screws up his rookie?
I'm just saying, would you worry about that, or would you just try to get him seat time? Do you worry about rookie eligibility, or do you just go for seat time?
I would want him to be in a cup. Say there's three races before the chase?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want him in the madness.
So put him in the...
I wouldn't want him to do Daytona either. So put him in Richmond and put him in Watkins Glen.
And then that's it for the year?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't put him in the playoffs.
No.
I would let Kurt run those. Or just... No, you're saying do a third team.
Do a third team.
Yeah,
just
so
send
just
a
2
car
races.
over. And as we've heard, Joe Gibbs has what?
You probably... Joe
He's
would
got
probably
like...
give him Kyle's car. And just put Kyle in the backup.
Might as well.
He's going to wreck it anyway.
Cal ain't coming back.
He's going to wreck it.
Might as well.
So, yeah, I'm good with that. I think that would be really good, actually. Just run him he runs good on road courses.
If he doesn't qualify, fine.
And the only way he gets in is qualifying. So, one of your back marker teams.
Well, you might want him there ready to hop in. What if Kurt gets dizzy?
What if Kurt doesn't run? That's the thing. We don't know. We have,
I'm sure
this recording, we don't know.
2311 and Joe Gibbs knows right now.
Yeah, as of now, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I would think by tomorrow they would want to know so they can build the car around Ty.
But that's what I'd do. I'd give Ty 2 more races in the Cup in this new gen car, next gen, whatever you want to call it.
Current gen?
Yeah. And then
now
let him stick to Xfinity for the rest of the season.
Well, he's racing for a championship there. So
yeah.
You don't want him. I don't think you want him doing double duty unless Kurt's still hurt. If Kurt's still hurt, then he does double duty.
But doing that double duty helps him for the Cup race for the next 2 races.
No doubt. Or you mean the Xfinity race?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Helps him all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, he goes out and qualifies, what, 10th?
Yeah.
11th? This weekend, and wins the Xfinity race.
Richmond's a short track.
Yeah. So
and we got a road course.
I think he would run good in this car at Richmond. Toyota's going to be strong.
Well, I think running the Xfinity, or is it the Xfinity or trucks at Watkins Glen? I haven't looked that far ahead.
I got a clue. Xfinity, I would think. But
run an Xfinity and then run Cup and then be done for the year in Cup Series.
I think you're onto something, but I think either way you got to keep him in a car or get him in a car, but he needs to be in a Cup car next year.
He's that good.
There's no way you don't.
And he seemed to have calmed down since the first half of the Xfinity season.
If he only improves, it's going to be bad for the rest of the competition.
Oh, no, he could, sophomore year, get a championship. I don't see him doing it rookie season, but
I see him.
That would be amazing.
I see him being the rookie that comes in and wins his rookie season.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He will be the Denny Hamlin of rookies.
Yep.
Who sweat what? Denny Hamlin swept Pocono, I believe, his rookie year.
I wouldn't doubt if Denny's begging Joe Gibbs to let him have him next year for Cup. If Joe isn't going to bring him up to drive the 18. Please, coach.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
I'll go buy another charter.
I mean, I could see Michael Jordan being in for that too. I mean, he's a proven driver.
Yeah. But then you already have that third team.
Yeah. Because Denny's even said
He said he wants
3 teams.
Yeah.
So he wants to be, he said he's modeled his whole team after Gibbs. So I don't know. I was looking at Denny Hamlin hats, dude. That's horrible, right?
Yeah, but Denny was very nice to both of us at the 600.
And then on DBC,
and we're nobodies.
On DBC, he killed it. I mean, it was phenomenal.
Well, he was on Stacking Pennies too. He was good. I don't know. I don't know how we got
turned.
Man, how did we hate him? I know how we got turned. We met him.
I know it. I don't remember what race it was, but Dale Jr. came over the radio and said, somebody needs to tell Denny Hamlin to cut his dang hair so he can see when he's pulling in the pits and to quit running into me.
Well, I remember, and I don't remember.
Ever since then, I've been anti-Denny.
Well, he kind of pissed me off when he came in second that one race and went bumper to bumper with the winner. Was that Chase?
No.
Who was that?
Bowman, wasn't it?
Was
They
it?
called him a hack.
Yeah.
I think it was Bowman.
It was Bowman.
Yeah. At Richmond, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that kind of pissed me off on him.
Him and Chase had their issues, but that doesn't make me dislike you. I disliked Kyle Busch for wrecking Dale Jr., but that's because it was Kyle Busch.
But Kyle Busch
But I got
is
over
a
that.
butthole every time they put a mic to his face, too.
Not here lately. His
Well, they're not putting mics to his face because he sucks.
Well, his attitude's changed the last few weeks because now he's fighting for.
Maybe his attitude should have changed 3 years ago.
Maybe.
And made Ms. Mars happy instead of letting her run off and say, we don't need Kyle Busch anymore.
Yep. The daughter takes over and she's like, I'm done with this dude.
Yeah.
I'm not putting up with his attitude.
He's a butthole. And she was right.
All right, man. You got anything else?
Nah.
All right, guys. We appreciate you listening.
Go green.
Oh, yeah. Thanks to everyone who follows us, shares our show on social media, and listens each week. Make sure you check out our YouTube channel. We're going to be doing like midweek check-ins on YouTube.
Plus,
videos.
Brad put up a couple of our episodes. It just has, our logo of Daryl shooting the bird at Kyle Busch.
Yeah. So, and I'm still uploading more of those. So make sure you check out our YouTube channel, watch our YouTube videos, subscribe to our channel. Check us out on Spotify, rate us. Follow us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. Subscribe to
Only
the podcast
rate
on
us
Apple.
if it's a good rating.
I don't care. I'll take a bad one. I don't care.
No. Well, I'm not Wyndham.
Look, man.
My name Wyndham?
But this is America.
Am I Wyndhamite?
It's America.
I'm
man.
Quaker.
Freedom.
I'm Quaker.
Freedom.
I ain't no Wyndhamite.
Freedom.
I'm not even a part of their rewards program.
It's America, man. Keep it free.
I don't know if it's America anymore.
This ain't the war on tar.
I don't know.
All right. Appreciate it. Oh, check out our website, racecarbackwards.com. See?
Didn't you already say that?
No.
You're repeating yourself.
You interrupted me with your Wyndham Nights.
You got nothing is given with freaking Jeff Gordon's fucking...
He did it. You finally did it.
It's been a long time.
You slipped up and said the F word.
My goodness.
Finally did it. It's been like 23 episodes, 24 episodes. And
I stopped saying that word even at work and in general. I can't believe it slipped out.
I got you so flustered. All right, man. Thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate it. Y'all have a great week.
We love you.
See ya. Thanks for listening to a race car spelled backwards.